Most people on YouTube make use of something like a Patreon, and many small open source projects also do the same, alongside things like GitHub sponsors, Coffee, and various other platforms. But when a project gets big enough and actually wants to remain accountable, doing that is difficult, and many projects don't want to deal with doing all of that themselves, so instead make use of another platform called Open Collective. You've probably seen it from projects like Ruffle, Jellyfin, Core.js, F-Droid, Curl, Manjaro, Mastodon, and thousands of other projects. What makes Open Collective so great is that every single expense that is made is completely public. So if you are donating to this project, you know exactly where your money is going. Anybody out there can audit the project, and in some cases, I have done so in the past when a project was just burning money on things that didn't make any sense. And recently, the Open Collective put out this press release. Open Collective official statement, OCF dissolution. Dear Open Collective community, it is with sad hearts that we have heard the news about the Open Collective Foundation decision to dissolve effective December 31st. Now, reading this first line here and reading the title has led some people to believe that the Open Collective as a whole is going to be shutting down. That is not what is happening. For example, here is this person on the Phoronix forums. Open Collective is shutting down, so it's probably better not to use it. Here's a commenter over on LWN. This is unfortunate. I hope projects will be able to find another home. And here is a post over on Reddit. Open Collective shutting down. And I'm not trying to mock these people. I understand if you just read the title and read the first line, how that is what you think is going to be happening. But again, the Open Collective is not shutting down. Much like something like Mozilla, for example, the Open Collective is also a mess of various different organizations which all are very confusingly named. Open Collective Inc. is a for-profit entity. We are responsible for building the Open Collective platform that many fiscal hosts use for their operations. Now, the fiscal hosts being these guys here, along with a bunch of others. These are basically the people that manage your money, handle fees, all of that sort of stuff. First one, the Open Collective Foundation, OCF, the one that is shutting down. A US-based 501c3 fiscal host that hosts charitable projects and which has chosen to dissolve. The second, Open Source Collective, a US-based 501c6 fiscal host that only hosts open source related projects and which continues to operate in good health. Open Collective Europe, OCE, a European-based organization with the ability to have 501c3 equivalency in the US, hosting open source, solidarity, artistic, and cultural projects principally rooted in or connected to Europe and which continues to operate in good health. This one here is the only one shutting down. Now, to be fair, this is still not a good thing, but it's not going to affect any of the projects I mentioned earlier, and the vast majority of open source projects are not using the Open Collective Foundation as their fiscal host. Here is a list of everything that is a part of it. So this has more traditional charities, things like soup kitchens and delivering water, prison support, things like this. All of these charities are going to need to find a new fiscal host. But things like Ruffle, Jellyfin, F-Droid, all of these, they are still going to be fine. Now, the Open Collective isn't just throwing them out, they are putting some resources together. So if they happen to be a European charity, Open Collective Europe is going to work for them. If they are open source Collective is going to work for them. Otherwise, another fiscal host on the Open Collective platform. We are currently compiling a list of options for OCF collectives, which will be shared on this blog. This may allow you to retain your collective profile on Open Collective and more easily retain recurring contributions. We are working on tools and features to help the transition. Also, the Open Collective Foundation are going to provide support themselves. Many fiscal sponsors have requirements that some collectives may not meet. If you are having trouble finding a new home for your work, you can reach out to us for support in thinking through your options by emailing them right here. Your other option, if you're going to keep using the platform, is become an independent collective. This requires you to obtain your own legal status and bank account and abide by accounting and legal obligations. It allows you to retain your collective profile on Open Collective and more easily retain recurring contributions. We are working on tools and features to help with the transition. But a big part of the reason why people use Open Collective is so that somebody else can manage that money for them, and they don't need to go and do all of this extra stuff. So if you are going to do that, I would imagine that some would probably move off of the platform and just manage everything themselves. Once again, I'm going to say it. If you make use of Open Collective Europe, your project is going to be fine. Nothing is changing for you. If you make use of Open Source Collective, nothing is changing for you. The project is going to be fine. If you make use of anything else, you're going to be fine. Only if you make use of the Open Collective Foundation are you going to need to find a new fiscal host. There may be some random project out there that was using the Open Collective Foundation. If you happen to hear this, go find a new fiscal host. You don't have to do so at this very moment, but the deadline is going to happen soon. So the last day to accept funds/receive donations is March 15th, 2024. The last day collectives can have employees is June 30th, 2024, and the last day to spend or transfer funds is September 30th, 2024. After December 31st, everything is going to be gone, so make sure you move. Now, likely due to some of the early confusion, the Open Source Collective also rushed to put out a statement to make sure that people actually know that things are going to be fine regarding the announcement to dissolve Open Collective Foundation. You may be aware of recent developments regarding the dissolution of the Open Collective Foundation by the end of the year 2024. We are extremely sad to hear the news and are still processing it, but we wanted to send a quick note to our collectives. Please be assured the Open Source Collective is not affected and will continue to operate as usual. Our organizations are distinct entities, each with its own budgets, accounts, staff, board of directors, and mission. The similarity in our names stems from a common origin, as the founders of the Open Source Collective were also involved in creating the fiscal hosts Open Collective Foundation and Open Collective Europe. Basically, they were all made by the same people. Additionally, we all utilize the Open Collective platform, a detail we recognize may contribute to confusion. At least they are fully aware why there is a problem here. Although the naming of these entities is similar, we are all separate business entities. The reason why I'm repeating myself is I feel like all of this is pretty straightforward, and if you read through the posts, it is exactly clear what is happening. But even so, there are some that are still confused. Jonathan White here, who is a member of the KeyPass XC project. I've read this a couple of times and don't understand if we actually need to do anything regarding this announcement. Can it be restated with explicit steps on what would need to be done and if we are actually affected? Lauren says, hi, basically, you don't need to do anything because you're using the Open Source Collective, not the Open Collective Foundation, so nothing changes for you. And if you do have any questions for the Open Source Collective, they have an email as well. You can reach out to them there. But I feel like everything here should be pretty clear. So, to anybody out there that supports an open source project on the Open Collective, it's very, very likely that nothing is changing for them. They're just going to keep using the Open Source Collective and keep collecting money like they always were. So, if you thought that something was shutting down, calm down. Nothing is going to happen. Now, if you support something that is just a more traditional charity, something might be happening over there if they use the Open Collective Foundation. So hopefully that clears up some of the confusion, and if you see people saying the Open Collective is shutting down, share them this video and show them, no, it is not shutting down. Anyway, if you like the video, go like the video. And if you really like the video and you want to support me, become one of these people over here. Check out Patreon, subscribe to LiberaPay, linked in the description down below. That's gonna be it for me, and...
Hey you, what's up man? Give me money please. Daytime better come correct. Ain't playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. Something like this.